What's up everyone? Today I'm down at Dick Brooks Honda and behind me is a 2019 Honda HR-V. Huge thanks to them for providing this SUV for me today. I'll have a link to their website down in the description below. The model that we're looking at today is the EXL. It's finished off in blue with an MSRP just over $25,000. Under the hood is a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine. This is only paired to the CVT transmission and it does offer steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. This engine produces 141 horsepower at 6,500 RPM and 127 pound-feet of torque at 4,300 RPM. Front-wheel drive is standard, all-wheel drive is optional. This weighs around 3,000 pounds, and with a fuel capacity of 13.2 gallons, you can expect the MPG to be 26 in the city and 31 on the highway. The wheelbase measures 102.8 inches. It has an overall length of 170.4. The width is 69.8 inches, it has a height of 63.2 inches, and ground clearance is at 6.7 inches. Starting up front, this comes standard with LED headlights and daytime running lights. There's fog lights in the lower section of the bumper. This has a more bold grille than the previous generation. It's finished off in chrome on the upper section and more mesh in the lower section. Underneath the bumper, there's more black in the front splitter, giving it more contrast against the blue, with front air dams to each side. And there's very clean lines coming down the hood. This also features the Honda Sensing, which provides the camera in the top section of the front windshield. Moving to the side, this features 17-inch wheels with a nice 5-spoke design. There's 4-wheel disc brakes in all 4 corners. These side mirrors are body colored on the top section and black in the lower section. The passenger side also features a camera. When you put on the turn signal, it activates that camera. The B-pillars are finished off in black along with the fender flares and side skirts, and there's very clean lines running throughout the doors. This also features roof rails and a sunroof as well. And finishing up in the rear with the body-colored spoiler and third brake light, the wiper blade is in the lower section of the window to help improve visibility. This comes standard with LED taillights, a backup camera, there's rear fog lights in the lower section of the blacked out bumper, and this has a single exit exhaust. So that finishes up the exterior walk around of the 2019 Honda HR-V. What do you guys think? This is the smaller SUV from Honda. As you can tell, there's a couple pilots in the background, so hopefully you can gauge the size difference. That is a full third-row vehicle. But I really like the lines in this car, and the blue on it especially makes it look really nice. And now with the key, we'll go ahead and take a more in-depth view of the interior. You have lock, unlock, and the power liftgate. And of course, with the key on me, I'll just place my hand in the door handle. It will automatically unlock. Pushing on this black button will lock the vehicle. The upper half of the door panel is covered in complete black leather. It has a really nice feel to it. There's stitching running along the armrest as well. You have the side window controls with the lock and unlock and the side mirror adjustments. The nice aluminum release handle. This offers a 6-speaker audio sound system with a little bit of storage space behind that one speaker. Moving inside now to the black leather seats. These are heated as well. They have good bolstering support to them on either side. They are manual adjusting forward and rear. You can adjust the back height of it by pulling this up or pushing it down. And of course you have the manual recline. Once inside, we're greeted with a fully wrapped black leather steering wheel. There's a piano black trim piece running down the lower section of it. To the right, we have buttons for your adaptive cruise and lane keeping assist, turning those on and off and setting all of those. These 3 buttons here control a center screen, which I'll get to here in a second. On the left side, you have all of your voice command and Bluetooth controls, and all of these are for the radio. This also features the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. They are finished off in more piano black. So using those buttons to the lower right side of the steering wheel, we'll scroll through a couple different options here. We can look at your range and your average MPG. You also have your speed, your time elapsed. There's an oil life meter, along with vehicle settings, and there's a lot of things you can look at. You have your TPMS, your driver assistance setup, your meter setup, along with your keyless lighting, your doors, maintenance. So that covers the whole right side of the gauge setup. You have your speedometer in the middle, and then your tach clock temperature, and your gear selection to the far left. To the left of the steering wheel, you can turn on and off traction control along with the collision avoidance system, which is the camera in the top section of the windshield. You have lane keeping assist. Your fuel cap is down below. There's an economy mode, one air vent with leather nicely wrapped around that. And then moving to the center is the 7-inch touchscreen display screen. So using the center screen now, there's a couple different things that we can look at. I'm on the home setting right now, so we can go into audio, info, Honda Link. You have your phone and settings that you can go into for your clock, your camera, your Bluetooth, and things like that. You can also go up to the top to click on audio. We can go back and then hit source for more of those features with your AM, FM, satellite radio, and everything like that. You have your volume and power on and off for the radio to the left, along with a nighttime mode, so you can also adjust the brightness of the screen or push on that when it is night out and it will adapt to the lighting that you are in. Moving below that screen, we have another digital readout, and this is for all of the AC controls. I will go ahead and turn it on, and you can see the temperature and fan speed appear. So on the far left, we have the heated seat control for the driver, along with the temperature, being able to make that hotter or cooler. You have the mode selection in the middle, and then fan speed to the far right. There's also the passenger heated seat. You have the heated rear glass and side mirrors, along with the front defroster and some other recirc buttons for the AC, along with the red engine start stop button to the far left. Looking at the shifter now, it has a nice aluminum trigger button to the far left and piano black next to that. We'll go ahead and put the car into reverse. You'll see the backup camera light up. There's 3 different angles that you can look at. We have the normal view here, there's a lower wide angle, and then a straight down view. And when you turn the steering wheel, the lines will turn as well, and you can see them get larger as you go left and right in the center, it turns yellow again. We can put it down into drive. You can't shift using the shifter itself, but we can go over to the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters again. Behind that, you have the electronic parking brake along with a brake hold feature. In the center, you have some storage space down in the bottom, but there's also 2 hidden cup holders. You can see from the driver's side, if I just push on this button, the floor will appear along with this pop out here to be able to put a drink. For the passenger, it's on the opposite side. So if I push it on this side, you will see that all appear, and you can easily close those up and have more storage space down below. So that is very nice. That's an interesting feature to have. In the center armrest, there's a little bit of storage space for a phone or wallet or something like that. And this armrest is adjustable, so we can slide it forwards and backwards. Moving over to the glove box now, there's definitely a lot of room. Above that, there's more leather and 3 air vents in the center dash there. This also has a sunroof. We'll take another look at these leather seats. And then up in the center, you have the controls for the sunroof, of course, and the dome lights. So now it's time to take a look at the rear seating, and the door handle is not in the traditional area. It's nicely integrated into the back side of the door here. So we'll go ahead and pull on it just like a normal door handle. Of course, the door panel is finished off like up front with 1 speaker and more leather on the armrest. This is a 5-seater smaller size SUV, so let's go ahead and hop in. Behind just the passenger seat, there's a little storage pocket for anything that you need. There's a cup holder in the center along with a 12 volt. As far as legroom goes, I'm 5'10", I have plenty of legroom, and then my head has about 2 or 3 inches above it. So it's not all that tight for a smaller size SUV. You still have plenty of room in the back seats here. We'll go ahead and take a look out of the rear glass there. Definitely a lot of visibility and room in the back seats here. These seats also offer a 60-40 split to them, so just folding down the passenger side here, you can see they fold completely flat, and that gives you a lot more space into the back seats there. So it's very versatile for people or for more storage space as well. So now it's time to take a look at the rear trunk storage space, and I'm just going to walk up to the vehicle. Underneath the Honda logo, there's an electronic button to go ahead and open up the lift gate. This has about 39 cubic feet of storage space with the seats up and 76 cubic feet of storage space with the seats down. So there's definitely a lot of room. It expands too on the left side. You have this small area here and then over on the right side as well. Up top, there's 1 grab handle that we can use to close it up. So there is a lot of space for this smaller size SUV. All right, so driving the HR-V. While I'm getting out of the parking lot here, I'll just go over the visibility. While I've been able to drive it around all of these vehicles here so far, the visibility is actually really good. Looking over your left shoulder, you can easily see out through that back glass. And then over your right shoulder, it is a little bulky, but Honda came out with a great solution adding that camera to the side view mirror. It gives you a great perspective, almost like someone is standing directly outside looking back on that right side. So you definitely don't have any issues. So going over the comfort of this car, just putting a couple miles on it so far, I really like these seats. These bolsters hug you very well. on both sides. I feel like I'm pretty planted in the seat, and they are very comfortable again, so I could easily see this being a good daily driver. Steering wheel is in a nice spot. I don't feel like I'm too high up on the vehicle itself. Putting that blinker on now, that is pretty cool to even see. There's 3 lines that appear, so just to judge how close something is to you. Just driving on this normal road here, the suspension is doing a really good job absorbing any of these bumps that I'm going over. So I have no complaints with that. All of the materials on the inside are really nice. You have leather on the steering wheel again, on the seats. It's even on most of the door, which just gives it a really nice look. And then moving to the center stack here, while I'm actually driving it and looking at it, there's nothing too confusing about it. There's actually no buttons at all. Everything is on a digital readout in the screen. So when you have the car completely off, everything is nice and almost finished off in the piano black to match all the other trim in the car. So it's actually really nice that there are no buttons on the center. The only one that you have really is the power and volume for the radio. And I actually just noticed too that under this center stack is another 2 USB ports and a little bit of storage space. So you have kind of a hidden compartment there for anything that you need to put down there. We're gonna go ahead and give it a little bit of gas just to see how this CVT transmission is. You know, I really wouldn't say that it's slow. It's not very quick, but at the same time, it's not slow. I wouldn't worry about this merging in traffic or anything like that. Using the paddle shifters now to downshift, it definitely gets up and moves. So it's not underpowered for the 1.8 liter 4-cylinder that it is. So I put it over into normal driving mode without using the paddle shifters. I'll give it a little bit more gas. You can actually definitely feel a difference. That did not get up to speed as quickly as using the paddle shifters. So that was pretty surprising that the paddle shifters actually made it a bit quicker. There was a lot more throttle response in that. Moving on to the camera that's in the front portion of the windshield now. That is a part of Honda Sensing. And basically what that is part of the distance pacing, the lane departure, and the adaptive cruise. So they've nicely integrated that camera almost to where you wouldn't even tell it was there unless you knew it was there. And that will help regulate with the traffic in front of you for all of those different settings. It's very quiet. You can barely hear cars going by. The road noise has been comfortable too. There hasn't been any tire noise or anything like that. So overall, daily driving this again, very quiet on the inside. Has a good amount of power to get you up and moving. And there is quite a lot of storage space. I drove the Honda Pilot a couple weeks ago, and while that has a full 3rd row in the back, you still have plenty of room in the back seats even with them up and having people in the back. So if you're in the market for a smaller size SUV, it definitely has plenty of room for anything that you need in it, and it has a lot of the technology features that come standard, which is nice to see. So that is my walk-around review and test drive of the 2019 Honda HR-V. What do you guys think of the smaller SUV from Honda? I've driven the Pilot before. I will have a link to that video down in the description below. But as far as the HR-V goes, it's very nice. It's practical. There's a lot of room in it, a lot of technology features, and it drives great. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next video.